only in America, 12,000 people were just laid off today at Google. Yes, Google.
I'm reading my journal from 2023 and I manifested getting laid off at Google the same week that I got laid off.
At 22 years old, I was laid off very unexpectedly from Google along with 12,000 other employees. They paid for my cross-country move, so I'm grateful, and I got that Google stock.
This is why I left my $500,000 a year job at Google. It's because I was laid off.
Some of the people that were laid off actually designed some of their AI tools,
Hi, my name is Steph, previously a product designer at Google.
which they're using to replace the employees with. So you telling me, you gave them an idea, you designed everything, and they let you go. Why aren't you so surprised? My thing is, they're a corporation. That's what they do. Their goal is to make money. And they're going to exploit you for everything you do. That's why you're an employee. Exchanging money for work. And if you come up with a dope idea, I don't know why you didn't patent it. But I tell you like this, over 250,000 people has filed unemployment in the first week of June alone of 2025. So my thing is, guys, the bell need to be rang and rung. All right?
12,000 people at Google got an announcement that they lost their jobs. It's crazy. I tell people all the time, just because you have this cozy job making $200,000, $300,000 doesn't mean people can't take that away from you. It's secure, but it's not secure for the long run. This is exactly why I teach my clients and my students, even if you're working a W-2 job, to have multiple streams of income.
I've heard some really awful stories about the Google layoffs. Like, one of my friends who works there told me that people were in their office onboarding new hires when they were informed that they were laid off. So imagine that you're a new hire. This is your first week at Google, and the person who is onboarding you and welcoming you to Google gets laid off in the middle of your welcome to Google session. Can you imagine?
Imagine not saving any money and looking your child in the eye and letting them know that the lifestyle that they were living at has to decrease. The home, have to sell the home, can't afford the mortgage, trying to find a job, can't find a job because other tech companies are laying off. Don't let this be you. Buy real estate, do side hustles, make extra income.
I don't know. These just feel super heartless. They've also laid off so many of their really senior people. And I mean, I think it's a good thing that they're not just laying off entry-level employees, of course, but also, can you imagine giving 15 or 18 or 23 years of your life to a company and then just having your email access laid off one day and not being able to say goodbye to anyone? It's just really heartless. And I don't know, it shows you a lot about the character of this company and of what their values really are. And something I hope people will keep in mind, because hiring is going to pick up again. And personally, I wouldn't want to go and work at any of these companies.
Around the same time, I also lost my partner and my living situation. Many people would call this rock bottom, but for me, it was complete freedom. For the first time in years, I had no obligations, no comfort zone, and no excuses. So I moved back to New York and went all in on building things that I actually care about. I built 14 apps in the past year, and I got pretty good at shipping fast. But in reality, I only monetized one of these apps, and it's making basically nothing. I keep saying I'm building businesses, but really I'm just shipping half-baked products. Part of me is afraid of doing what it actually takes to generate revenue. I seem to get close to done, but I never quite get there. I always run into effort versus reward mismatch or some technical blocker that demotivates me. And then there's all the boring operational stuff, legal requirements, compliance, which, if I succeed, will make my life feel like work again. And that's something I don't know if I'm ready for. But I need to get out of this mindset, so I'm challenging myself to make $1,000 in recurring monthly revenue within the next 60 days. This isn't one-time revenue. This is repeated income that proves people actually want what I'm building. I'm going to document everything, every failure, every breakthrough, and every moment that I just want to quit and go back to the safety of a corporate job. If I fail, at least we'll know why someone can ship 14 apps in a year and still not turn a profit. And if I succeed, you'll see what it actually takes to go from builder to business owner. In the next video, I'll share my plan for generating revenue, and then we'll see if I can stick to it or if I fall into the same old patterns.
For those of you who don't know, there was about 12,000 people who got laid off from Google this past Friday. There's a lot of other tech companies too, but I'm going to start here. To be honest, when I first heard about it, I thought it was 1,200, and then I realized it was 12,000. And I just couldn't help but wonder what is going through everybody's minds right now and what are the emotions that are coming to the surface. So I'm going to read some of them. These are so hard to read, but I'm going to read them because you need to know. Okay, this one is from Joseph May. I'm sure everyone has heard about the recent Google layoff that happened this previous week, that 12,000 Googlers were let go this past Friday, myself included. We woke up Friday morning with no access to our work equipment. Some of our badges weren't working, and others getting it all the way into the office just to find out that they were being let go. I cried on Friday. As I was aware of the possibility, I thought that I'd have a heads up, maybe 2 or 3 months notice, but just like the others, I did not. My heart goes out to all the Googlers, both full-time employees and contractors like myself. We're starting from scratch and figuring out who we are now and what we want going forward. I'm grateful to Google and my contractor for giving me this opportunity, regardless how it ended. And again, these are so hard to read. I'm a biracial man from foster care who ended up being raised by his grandmother and aunt single-handedly. I have worked diligently my whole life to be better than what I came from. I never dreamed of working for a place such as Google. Yet, I did it. I'm used to setbacks and being at the bottom because that's where I came from. So regardless of the devastating turnout, I am resilient and will land on my feet just as everyone else will. Oh, my heart. A turn in the road is not the end unless you make it your final destination. I am not done until I win. Thanks for the opportunity, Google. Oh my gosh, tell me your heart isn't melting. I'm literally going crazy reading these stories. I'm going to be reading more of these, but if you know anybody who got laid off, please encourage them to share their story and I want to read it.
Tech is getting absolutely cooked right now. Google is laying off about 200 employees from their core engineering team, and they are planning to replace those with offshore workers from countries like Mexico or India. The job market is pretty bad right now, especially in tech. And unfortunately, I think this is going to be a common trend that we are going to see in companies in the years to come. Companies are going to be looking for measures such as offshoring to do cost-cutting measures. So if you're in tech, make sure to keep your skills sharp, brush up your resume, brush up your interviewing skills, and even try to make it so that you're irreplaceable, because this is going to be a common thing that is going to be happening. Interest rates are high right now, which makes it expensive for companies to finance their business operations. So as a result, companies are going to be doing a ton of things and labeling them as cost-cutting measures. Right-sizing, downsizing, all that stuff. Check out the resources in my link tree and use that to better handle this brutal job market.
So Google just laid off a bunch of recruiters. I kind of thought we were done with these. Just a few weeks ago, there was this article about how the tech job recession was over, that layoffs were pretty much done and back to normal levels. We were also hearing about the September surge, that hiring was about to pick up. And if that were true, then companies would not be inclined to be laying off recruiters. Of course, maybe it's just a Google thing, and I don't work at Google. Maybe they still were really heavily overstaffed, and hiring is actually in a decent place. They just realized it wasn't picking up as quickly as they were hoping. I really don't know. But I'm sure that the people who were at Google were at this point feeling pretty confident that things were going to be okay. And so it sucks to see this happening. And I'm sure it's going to result in a lot of other recruiters, especially at other big tech companies, being nervous too, because a lot of these companies seem to do these around the same time. Who knows if there are more layoffs to come, but my biggest recommendation if you're a job seeker is to recognize that the market is continually being flooded with really awesome, talented people, and this is probably not the time to try to get into tech.
This journal is from January 2023. Literally in the first few pages, I have reasons to quit, reasons to not quit. The next page is the things that I felt was necessary for me to quit. Only got through a couple things on the list because talk to Koshal, that was the day before I got laid off. This is why we have to be in manifestation routines and journaling routines. I literally have this entire journal is full of different things that I wanted for other people to happen and for myself. Every single morning, I would write down goals for the day, goals for long term, which were kind of like my manifestation goals for other people. So I would write the prayers and the things that I hoped for other people. And then I would write self-affirmations and then I would journal. I did this for 3 months at the beginning of 2023. And my life entirely changed. Oh, by the way, I would use this and I would put it on the book and I would put it on the things and then I would tap it to my head. The way that it just was fine, you get what you want, but we're laying you off. You don't even have time to think about it. This is a reminder to myself because I completely stopped doing this. So I'm starting today again. Do it with me.
It's really easy to lose motivation when we have unrealistic expectations of ourselves and our efforts. And that's why it is so crucial to recognize what season we are in. Maybe you are in a season of preparation. You're gathering your materials, so you are practicing your interviewing skills, you're updating your resume, you're updating your LinkedIn. If that's where you're at, why are you mad at yourself that you haven't booked an interview yet when you just got started? Or maybe you are in a season of planting seeds, so you are asking for referrals, you're actively applying to jobs. If that's the case, why do you feel like you're left behind? Maybe you are in a season of grieving, where the idea of looking for a job and even opening up your laptop literally takes everything out of you. If that's the case, why are you mad at yourself for not being productive? Every single season is going to have different success metrics, and learn to embrace and honor whatever season you are in.
Guys, it is brutal out there. Do not quit your day jobs in June. I don't care what's going on, how rough it is, how stressful that job is for you. Unless you have something lined up, do not bounce. Right here, I'm going to post them on the screen. Here are a list of companies, major companies, that have announced for June that they intend on doing layoffs. It is not going to get any better anytime soon. I understand you may hate your job, but unless it is a mentally damaging position where it is so toxic that you are just going to harm yourself or it's going to degrade your quality of life, stay in your job. The phrase "do not quit your day job" has taken on a completely new meaning in this job market.
If you work in corporate, I hate to break it to you, but they don't care about you. I was laid off 2 days after I was given a $10,000 raise. And also I was working on this big project that we were soon to be launching. And also I was close with my boss. He told me, your job is safe. Nothing's going to happen to you. And it did. No matter what they tell you, no matter the amount of money they give you, they can let you go at any time. And it is a terrible thing that they can do that. I could never do that to somebody. Don't get me started on on the friendships at work. Your friendships, people that I thought I was so close with, people that I've traveled with, people that I thought were some of my best friends, haven't even called to reach out, nothing. So don't put your blood, sweat, and tears into a company, into people that just aren't going to care. They don't care.
I was reading that Google made lay off 30,000 employees simply because their AI operation is improving. And I was just talking about this. A lot of y'all think y'all don't need to keep up with a lot of tech news. I said in the last video, if you're working in warehouses, you know how Amazon is looking to increase their robotic operation because it costs less to operate a robot than it does to pay a human employee. And when companies have that option to choose, they will always choose the cheapest option, especially when they want to cut costs. Google News isn't surprising, and I definitely see it happening because this also goes back when I was talking about improving your automation, incorporating AI, because a lot of people don't need big teams, and the largest companies in the world are starting to see that they don't need these large teams in certain places when they can automate those processes and move to AI. And a lot of them are going to do that. It's very important that you are paying attention to a lot of tech news because just because you think it doesn't pertain to you, it does, right? It really, really does. And stuff like this with Google, 30,000 employees, could be warehouse, could be corporate, could be something as simply as customer service. These things will hit hard in a lot of places, so it's definitely something that you want to keep up with.
I use Google Alerts as a secret hack to find out about layoffs before they're happening, and you should too with your company. So this is an example of an alert that I got today. It's telling me that a bunch of companies are predicting a lot more layoffs in the second half of 2024. And the second one is the fact that Microsoft's planning another layoff. This is the kind of thing you want to stay on top of. If you don't want to be blindsided by layoffs, a simple, free, and easy Google alert could solve this for you. By the way, I'm not affiliated with Google in any way. This is just something I've used for years, and I've taught all of my clients over at Work It Daily to do the same thing. Folks, you don't want to be on the receiving end of a layoff with a whole bunch of other people because it floods the market. They're all looking for jobs at the same time. It's better to be aware of these things so that you can anticipate it. And that's why Google alerts on your company, as well as just what's happening in layoffs in general, can be helpful. And if you're thinking, I don't want that bad news, well, I'm just going to tell you 20 years as a job search career coach, anybody that's ever been laid off and blindsided never lets it happen again. they do things like this. So I hope that this helped you. If you would like to work with me and my team, I've actually put a super secret discount code down here in the little comment section. Would love for you to try us free for 7 days so that we can help you and teach you all the things you need to do so that you can get that job you want and deserve and protect yourself from things like this. Good luck. Go get them.
Oh, yep. It continues to be a really tough winter of layoffs for the world of tech, with Google just announcing yesterday it was Microsoft. You know, this is one of the reasons why I really always rebuked the whole idea. Rebuked? Is that the right word? Whatever. Always fought against the idea that there's any such job or industry that's stable. Tech's always exciting because, of course, they pay the big bucks, right? But they also will make business decisions that cut your ass and throw you on the floor real quick. Like, y'all have probably seen that I'm hosting a negotiation masterclass on this coming Tuesday, but I want to make it clear, I'm not just talking about how to negotiate at the table. I'm talking about building a strong enough brand professionally so that by the time you get to the negotiation, they're basically ready to throw money at you. So if you've been thinking about coming, but you're thinking, oh, I don't really need negotiation advice right now, come, because I promise you will take away something that will make you more resilient in your career. And this is why I do what I do. It's free. Here's a link that you can use to register, and I hope to see you all there.
Thank you for watching Great Minds Blacks.